This tapestry is gorgeous. A lot more difficult and time consuming than I thought it was going to be. I'm so happy. This was such a good idea. Pray for me. It's so crooked because I'm so sick of painting. I'm tired, my hair is greasy, and my back hurts. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this one we are finally making over my study. We're going to be turning it into my dream writer's room, kind of like cottagey, dark academia, witchy, ghibli sort of vibes. I did a whole video where I designed the space. This was about a 6-month project, mostly because I was just juggling a lot of work, finished a book, I submitted a draft for another book, and in between that I made over this study. Turns out renovating even a small room is a lot. It took a very long time, but I'm really proud of what I came up with. I would be absolutely remiss if I didn't plug that book at the beginning of this video. So my debut novel, Theodore's Tea Shop, is coming out on July 28th this year. It's less than 2 months away. This is an atmospheric 1920s inspired novel, and it's about friendship and found families, and it's set in a city where there are demons and spirits, and there are dark moments and cozy moments and a lot of tea as well. If you'd like, you can add it on Goodreads or Storygraph, and all readers should be able to pre-order it from Blackwell's. Those are all of my things. I think this video ended up being an hour long. Let's jump into it. So let's go back to the beginning. This is what my study looked like the day after we moved in. We plonked everything down on the floor. I obviously did my best to clean this up and try and make things tidy and workable so I could do my job, and that brings us to January. I repurposed this bookshelf that used to belong to my partner, which he no longer needed, and I bought a new glass door for it from IKEA because I wanted to be able to put some camera equipment behind it, and this seemed like the best way to upcycle this. I also got a bunch of the stuff to attach it to the wall so it would be nice and safe, but this is the very first thing I did in my study. The thing that hit me to begin with that made me really want to make over this space is I don't like this sort of dull shade of blue. It doesn't even look really that bad if you stare at it because it's not too saturated. It almost looks grey, but just being in this space, it feels gloomy, like the way that the shadows are thrown on the walls. However, I ended up being so incredibly busy in January and February because I was editing my debut novel. That was an insane amount of work, and in between the edits of my novel, I wrote a whole draft of a different novel, which brings us to March when I finally got to design this space. The biggest and boldest thing I wanted to do was to rip out the doors of the wardrobe and make a desk nook. I initially wanted to put an archway in here, but that was one of the things along the way that I just ended up not having the energy or time for, so we scrapped the archway, and then I never mentioned it in the rest of this video, so I thought I'd better say that here. It's finally time for me to start working on my office. So I have done all of the design stuff. I have the plans, I've ordered some furniture, some things have started arriving, which is really cool, but I need to clear all of this space next to me. I need to move these boxes. I don't like having these doors like this because I find it quite overwhelming. I don't like not being able to see everything, and I have this bold plan for putting my desk into the wardrobe and making a desk nook. Today, we're going to be trying to get these doors out, and I'm anticipating this being really creaky and awful. This one is not as bad, it's the door behind it. The thing is that I know there are products like WD-40 and like powders and things that you can put on the tracks of these wardrobes and it makes them glide beautifully. But the thing is, I again hate the design of this wardrobe, and you can only ever see half of the wardrobe at one time. I want to be able to see everything in the space, otherwise I feel like I'm missing something. It overwhelms me. Dead set, I would rather have a fabric curtain here that I can just pin up to the sides than having these doors as they are. So my plan is essentially take out these doors, get rid of those tracks. Somehow, one of you guys commented that your partner removed them for you with a crowbar. I don't have a crowbar. I think we have a hammer. Moving into this house has meant that we have, for the first time in our lives, had to buy tools. I'm also hoping to use the hammer to like knock this guy out because I have a standing desk and my monitors are quite tall, so I need the standing desk to be able to go all the way up. I do feel a bit funny about sitting underneath things. I think for those of us who watched Final Destination a bit too young, it rewired something in my brain. But anyway, I think this will be fine. It does feel fairly sturdy. So I think I could potentially put some books up there and it might be okay. Like that could be where my TBR is potentially. I wonder if what's potentially happened is, you know how houses like move over time? So maybe there's been just enough compression that it's compressed it? I can see where this is screwed in. So if I can't get this out, I could potentially unscrew the whole thing, but then I'd have to take them both out at the same time. I'm gonna do an image search on whatever this is because clearly there's no obvious way to unattach the clip and get this thing out. Hello, been a bit of a time skip. It's been a couple of hours, I think. I had lunch, we took a break. I got Tyler in here because I was losing my mind. I problem solved so many things. There are screws up here. I tried to take different pieces of metal out. I Googled it, I reverse image searched it. I tried so many things. I think these are almost as old as I am. And basically, Tyler just yanked this side out with sheer force. The little tracks are plastic. There's no other way to get them out. I'm here with the last of our Easter chocolate, prepping myself because I'm gonna pull out the rest of these, also with sheer force. Tyler did offer to do it, but I said, no, I want to be the one. And he was like, just be careful, because he did have to pull quite hard. But this is out, and now I'm gonna do the rest of them. Wish me luck. Oh my god! Oh my god, yay! Oh. Okay. Yay! We have a nook! The next thing is these tracks. I don't think this is coming up, but if I pull this out of the ground, I'm gonna have to get like a strip of carpet to go here. So my thought process right now, because what I don't want it to be annoying for my desk chair to go over this. So if I picture where my desk is, it's gonna be up to about here. My chair will sit about here, so maybe the front will be over this. Do I sand this back so that it doesn't give me splinters and cover it up? I am tired, but look what I did! Oh my god! Okay, things that we've learned. I am stronger and I did a better job than I thought I would. So I had a bit of a break. I moved everything out of this space. I moved it up into storage. We have all of this leftover stuff from moving, and the previous owners left a bunch of stuff here. Like we said that they could. They were elderly, so we wanted to try and be helpful and not have them have to organize a skip. So we have a bunch of stuff to get rid of eventually. That is not today's problem though. That is a future Tyler and Christy problem. So yeah, anyway, I went scavenging. I made another cup of tea, found some sandpaper. So this doesn't look very pretty. I appreciate that 1522 is written on here, which is the width of this. So really, had I have just ripped this up straight away, I wouldn't have had to have measured it. It would have been written right there for me. I am so proud of myself that I did this. I feel like it looks pretty good. turns out this plank of wood doesn't really touch my chair legs at all. So if I sit quite far in, okay, kind of does like knock just a tiny bit. I'll see how I go if this is quite irritating. It's currently 5:56 p.m. That's how long this has taken me. I really don't think this piece of wood is a problem. We're gonna have dinner really soon, but I'm kind of in flow state with this right now, so I kind of want to keep going. Oh my god, this looks so good. Like this nook looks like it was made for this desk. I'm so happy. This was such a good idea. And this room is now absolutely huge. Before, the placement of everything just felt awkward and gangly, but now this feels genuinely really good, so I'm really happy. Oh my god, that was great. Let's set up my desk. Now, speaking of standing desks going in desk nooks, that brings us to the sponsor of this video, FlexiSpot. I've mentioned FlexiSpot before on my channel. They gifted me my lovely ergonomic desk chair, which I use every single day, but they were also so kind because I already have a standing desk. So they offered to give one to a friend of mine. So I headed over to Marina and John's house to help them build their brand new, beautiful FlexiSpot E7 standing desk. Marina and John chose the white legs and a maple desktop. This desk is huge, it's so well constructed, it was incredibly easy to put together. This only took about 20 minutes. And I tell you what, once we were finished, I was a little bit jealous because this standing desk is so pretty, but I'm so glad my friends Marina and John have this desk now. They're both going to be using it. You press a button, it goes up, you can perfectly customize it to whatever height, so it's brilliant with the two of them using it. So mostly it's going to be used as a work desk for them for working from home, but also Marina wanted to use it as a crafting desk, which is perfect because the desktop is so large. It's also incredibly sturdy. Unlike alternative cheap standing desks, the FlexiSpot desk is made out of automotive grade steel and has thickened legs. It can hold up to 355 pounds, which is roughly 160 kilos. FlexiSpot offers a 15-year warranty and free returns in the first 30 days. In addition to the desk, they also sent me this beautiful swivel chair. This is the FlexiSpot Lotus Recliner. It is so incredibly comfortable. It's incredibly wide, so the seat is 20.9 inches, which is 53 centimeters. So it's great if you want to sit with your legs crossed, which I generally do. And then these armrests are 9.8 inches as well. I can swivel in any direction. It's also a recliner. You can check out the Lotus Recliner by clicking the link in the description down below and using my code LOTUS30 to get $30 off and free shipping on your own FlexiSpot Lotus Recliner. And if you're after a great, very sturdy standing desk, check out the E7. FlexiSpot have tons of sales going. Click the link below and use my code YTE730 to save an extra $30 off your own E7 standing desk. It's been a few weeks, I think, not months, it's been a few weeks. It's now May, I think it is May 3rd today. And we are gonna get started on painting samples for this room. So I have Mabel's found a paper bag. Today is a Sunday. I'm feeling a bit tired today because I just submitted the proofs of Theodora's tea shop. It's been a really big week. But once again, I am sick of being in a study that is completely unfinished. Like every Monday morning when I come in here and I look around and everything's just a mess still, being in this unfinished space is causing me just like the mildest amount of stress. However, what I've really enjoyed is having this desk in the desk nook. Now I have to have the desk just a little bit set off of the wall because this wooden thing on the floor, I like to sit really close tucked up to my desk. The fact that the wheel only just can't go over this wooden thing just means that I just have to move my my desk just a little bit closer towards me. Like, it's honestly fine, but it's just that I know that even an inch or two the difference is going to mean that I lean over, it's going to really hurt my neck, and it's just that I have to be kind of careful with my posture because I have a history of chronic neck pain because of like posture stuff and my back not being very strong. And so I have to be really thoughtful of like sitting with good posture, and the fact that I often sit like a prawn, and so like I also need to factor in for when my posture is not going to be like perfect. I went to Bunnings the other day and I got some samples. Okay, Mabel. Hello. She's now, are you about to get cozy? I'm about to get up and start painting things, so don't get too comfortable. I got like a cutting in and framing brush because we don't have any paintbrushes at all. So I figured if I was just gonna buy one brush for now, this is probably the smart choice because I can use this to paint the samples on the wall. So this color is Misty Grape. This is the one I had from my initial planning video. This color is Camisole Half, so that's the pinky white color. Camisole Quarter, so it's the same thing but just a little bit lighter. The other purple, which should be Punch It Purple, and so I can't remember which one was the darker one of these two. I think they're just slightly different levels of richness. And so to recap the plan, the desk nook is going to be dark purple, that wall behind me is going to be dark purple, this wall's going to be light pink, that wall's going to be light pink, and then also I realized I'm probably going to have to buy a white paint to redo the trim in here. The brush itself is actually purple, it looks really beautiful. Now I think these walls need to be cleaned again. I think there's still like marks left over from the previous owners. And the people who moved into this house, I think they were already grandparents before they moved in. This would have been one of the grandkids' rooms for when the grandkids came and stayed. The history in an old house I just think is so special, and this, I could get into this. I could get into my thoughts on whether or not ghosts are real, because I swear to God, we went to Edinburgh, and if I had any conniptions as to whether I thought ghosts were real or not, we went to a graveyard, we did a ghost tour, we went and saw this graveyard where this ghost was known for like scratching people, and what happened to me, but I woke up the next day with a scratch on my leg, and I feel like I was gonna believe in ghosts. That would have been the thing that convinced me. Like, there were a few instances when I was a teenager of things that felt spooky happening, but truthfully I think that what we perceive as ghosts are our subconscious picking up on little cues, things that probably imply that the space is unsafe. But I don't know, a much more magical part of me really does believe that homes have souls, and when you step into a place you can feel whether it's comfortable and welcoming, and this house really is that. The second you step foot in this house it just feels so comfortable. And anyway, it's just the history in the walls, like it's really special. But anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm just procrastinating because I've never painted a wall before and I just am nervous, but we're gonna do it. Tyler, yeah. Come see this brush, it's purple. It's a really pretty like light pink. This is the lightest color. This is Camisole Quarter. Oh, I like that. That's only one coat obviously, so we'll leave that as it is. Surely you're supposed to wash these brushes in between shades, right? Do you just wash them down the sink? Is that safe for the environment? Do you wash paint brushes in the sink? Rinse them in a bucket and then dispose of the wastewater properly. Okay. We're ready to do the first coat. This one is Misty Grape, the other one is Punch It Purple. Shake. Ooh, okay, yeah, so this one is a less reddy purple color. I'm so used to acrylic paint. I'm just like checking on my hand if the thing is clean. Hello, it's a few hours later now. I think everything is dry. Like everything looks, yep, everything feels dry. I think you only have to wait like a couple hours for paint to dry. I'm currently leaning more towards this one. I think this one on this side, which is this one is the more like true looking purple. I was certain that the Misty Grape color was gonna be the one that I wanted, but no, I think this one on the right, that one, I think is my favorite. I think it looks more like a true purple, whereas this one over here, it looks a little bit better on camera, and obviously this is color graded, so you're not going to see the true color, especially in this light, because this light is yellow tone, so it's going to make it look more yellow. But even to my eye, this looks a little bit more brown, interestingly, whereas this looks more like true purple. So I'm going to do the second coat on everything, but I think I'm leaning towards the more purpley one, the Punch It Purple. And then for the peachy color, I think this one, the darker one, because this was the Camisole Half, whereas this is the Camisole Quarter. am still yet to actually paint anything today. I've spent the last, I think, 2 hours taping this room. And what was driving me absolutely nuts is I think maybe they taped last time. I don't think they did because they've just got wibbly wobbly blue lines the whole way along. So I'm trying to like make a decision about where I tape. So getting like a straight line versus like leaving some of the blue over, because if I'm doing a true straight line, it's gonna tape up some of the blue and some of the blue will be left. And so, oh my God, this has just taken such a long time. And then I was looking at the skirting boards and I didn't really want to paint the skirting boards, even though the edges in this room are so dodgily done. This thing over here, the thing for the desk nook clearly only has 1 coat of paint because I can see blue underneath it. So that must have been blue at some point. It's already been a big day and I haven't even painted anything yet. But anyway, I am gonna have to paint these skirting boards because they're kind of gross. Like they're just covered in marks. And again, this house is like 30, 40 years old. It's a beautiful old house. There's gonna be wear and tear from the decades, but I think I do definitely need to paint the skirting boards. And there was a bunch of paint and stuff left in the shed. So I'm hoping that there's some white paint I can use. It's now time for me to finally get started on painting. I'm not gonna finish this today. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm probably gonna have to work on my laptop unless I just reset up my desk in the middle of this room because this is gonna take a bit. I'll see you on like Thursday. Hello everyone, happy Monday. It's like 10 a.m. on Monday. I'm not gonna lie to you, this has been a lot more difficult and time consuming than I thought it was going to be. I think I didn't necessarily think it was going to be easy painting a room, but I just didn't anticipate how long it would take to tape everything up, to carefully do everything. I think because I'd watched so many time lapses of other people painting rooms on YouTube, I just didn't clock how time consuming this was gonna be. Something that is beautiful though, this drop sheet is exactly the same size as this room, which wasn't deliberate. I just looked at the drop sheet and I was like, oh, it's like $3. It's roughly the right size. No, it's like literally perfect. It's perfect. Aside from that little bit of carpet in the corner, which I've just put like a really old sheet over. There is paint dropped on the carpet, by the way, but that carpet is even older than this carpet. Eventually we'll just get it all replaced. Did 2 coats on this. I am gonna do a 3rd coat, although I woke up this morning and it was surprisingly perfect because I went to bed and I was like, oh, that looks patchy. It's not gonna be good. Woke up and I was like, oh my God, you could kind of get away with not having a 3rd coat. I am gonna do a 3rd coat though because we have more than enough paint left over, and because this one bit here, you might not be able to see it on the camera, but this bit here where I did the sample, it's still like a lot thicker. You can tell the difference, and so I kind of regret doing the sample so thick, but it is what it is now. So we're gonna do 1 more coat of the purple. This I'm gonna do once the pink is done so I can tape it properly, and then I need to figure out the situation with the skirting boards. Although I have a video that I need to edit with this computer by tomorrow, although I have my taxes due also kind of by tomorrow, I think I need to get it done because otherwise I'm never gonna do it. It's gonna bother me forever. And then all of this effort will just have that little undercurrent of, oh, but you should have painted the skirting boards though. That one looks an awful lot like white paint to me. So let's see, is it heavy? Please. Okay. If there was going to be a spider in this video, this is the place it's going to be. So pray for me. Oh my god, there's like brushes and oh, there's heaps of stuff in here. I really should have just looked in here first. Oh my god, there's paint rollers. Is there a little brush? I'm gonna bring this and the other one. Oh, that must have heaps of paint in it. There's also a little brush here too, which might be very helpful for the trim. So let's also take this inside. 4 p.m. and the thing that's really getting me right now is where I did the sample on the wall, I can see the sample. Like I can see that the paint is just a tiny bit thicker and pinker just in that one bit. That's one of the bits of the wall where I don't intend to have furniture, and that is gonna drive me nuts. And I know if you walked into this room, you would never spot it. You would never in your life spot it. I think I'm gonna do one more coat of paint just on this wall, because I think with the way the light hits it, you wouldn't be able to tell that there wasn't, because it's fairly opaque at this point. So I think I'm going to do just one more coat of paint on this wall, and not on this wall and not on that wall, but I just want to try and get the paint a little bit thicker around that sample. So maybe if I don't paint the sample, if I paint kind of on the edge of it, that'll fix it. So aside from that, I'm tired, my hair is greasy, and my back hurts just a little bit. But oh my god, this looks so good. Like this pink is beautiful. The purple is beautiful. Let's quickly have a look at this paint. I don't know if this is like, I think I'm being thrifty. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Oh shit. Okay. Is that blue? Oh, we don't want blue. Blue is not the color. And I'm gonna guess this is ceiling, but yeah, it says ceiling. Is this blue? Actually, now you mention it, that does look blue. Okay, I'm going back to the shed. Give me a sec. I found another paint. This literally says that it's for trims. So that's ceiling paint. This is good because then I can fix the ceiling. Very likely that this is actually what was originally used to paint the trim, and to be honest with you, it just needs to be updated. And given that we got given a folder when we moved in of like every piece of paperwork that's ever been associated with this house since before the year that either Tyler or I were born, it's not impossible that this is the same paint, that they just only did one coat and never went back to it, because I think that's what's happened. So I swear to God, if this is blue, I'll be very upset because it says that it's white. Yay! Okay, that's like a creamy color. Good. I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point, I am pretty sick of painting. My back is so sore. My arm is sore. I'm just really, really tired. It's Tuesday night. We're on day, 4-ish of this part of the project. So to recap, Saturday I spent most of the day signing copies of my book. And then I started moving out all the furniture on Saturday night. And then Sunday, the whole day was moving furniture, taping, doing the first coat. Yesterday, somehow I spent the whole day painting. I realized that I had to wait before I did this very final wall, because you need to wait at least 24 hours for the paint to dry before you put tape on it, because otherwise you'll just rip off the new paint. That was my like dark night of the soul, being like, oh my god, I can't finish this. But overwhelmingly, minus this wall, this space already feels so much nicer to be in. Like, it's already so much warmer during the day. The walls actually look clean and nice and kind of new. I love that shade of purple. We're gonna tape this. I'm gonna tape these two sides, gonna finish taping the door, then I'm gonna quickly do the trim, paint the trim. I really hope the tape doesn't pick up any paint. I really hope it doesn't. I'm really nervous about that. Paint the thing again, do the trim, then we're done. Thank God. Because I'm so sick of painting. It's like 9 o'clock at night. I worked all day. I'm so tired. I just want to lie down. It's fine. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. The painting is now officially all done, thank God, because I spent such a long time with a tiny brush going around and fixing up the edges. We got there and now everything is all cleaned up, all the paint is stored away in the shed. The pink and purple tins of paint have now joined the library of blue paints that are up there in the shed. They're both now safely affixed to the wall properly. And yeah, I need to move in the big 1920s cabinet, which is going to go right here. And I might need to get an extension cable to go, or like a multi thingy, a power board. I might need to get a power board to go here. Oh I was meant to run far out. Okay, that's a problem for another day. I was meant to run the power cable behind everything. It's fine. I'm just gonna have to unplug my computer later. Oh my God, the tapestry. I opened up the tapestry and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Let me show you. Guys, because this morning I had a panic because I went back and I looked at the order and I was like, it says everything's delivered, but I only see the tapestry. I don't see the rod. I don't see the little tassel-y thingies I also ordered. Everything arrived, turns out, in the same package. And I opened up the tapestry and I was so nervous. I was like, what if this is gonna be like a dodgy website? What if it's gonna be like a Temu situation? You actually get the product, it's like the worst thing in the world. Guys, this tapestry is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Oh my God. Tapestry! Can you see? It might be a little bit dark. It is absolutely gorgeous. The colors are perfect. They're perfect. They're so pretty. I was really worried that this kind of beigey color was going to come out too yellow and look a little bit dated, but no, it's beige. It's perfect. Oh, I'm so excited. So we're going to put in the 1920s cabinet. I'll perfectly find the spot for that. We need to work out how we're going to do this. It is now the following Sunday. Just to check in, I now at last have time to finish most of the study. So I've just cleaned up this cabinet to my left and I have a small story to tell you about this cabinet. The main reason why I could justify ordering the tapestry is because I ended up getting this cabinet. I did have a small budget for buying a final cabinet because I needed something to put my camera equipment and my art supplies in. Fortuitous timing, because in the like family group chat with Tyler, his mum and his siblings, Tyler's mum said, does anyone want this cabinet from the 1920s? And I waited to see if any of Tyler's other siblings wanted it and they didn't. So I said, actually, I would really, really love a 1920s cabinet for my study. It is beautiful. It's so beautifully constructed. It has a key in it, so we have to be really, really careful not to lose this key, but you can lock the cabinet, which is very, very cool. And because I got the cabinet, it meant, as I said, I could justify ordering a fancy little tapestry, although admittedly, I spent like $200 on this tapestry. I think the tapestry plus the rod plus the little tassels that I got, I think it was like near to $300 AUD, so expensive, but in comparison to all of the other tapestries I found, this was quite cheap. And it turns out that the tapestry is just beautiful quality. I'm so excited. I'm thinking that this bookcase is going to run along this wall, and then I'm thinking I can just place the armchair kind of here. And then I have a couple other little knickknacks to unwrap, which I also bought on sales. I have been living on furniture websites, Facebook Marketplace, all of these things for the last few months, trying to like do the best job I can at this. And then of course I got some things framed. We ordered some prints. It's so beautiful. Again, in my defense, I didn't know I was getting this cabinet when I ordered this armchair. It's very comfy. I mean, I can move this a tiny bit to the left. Cabinet's probably gonna go like another 1.5 centimeters that way once I've gotten the cables properly. So I think I can push this back just a tiny bit. So it might be fine once everything is set up. Up, up. Up, up. Okay, are you having trouble because you think it's on my lap? Mabel, up, up. There we go. I'll just be here for a bit until Tyler gets home from the hardware store, and then I can get his help. Because basically I just want to make him hold the tapestry until I work out how high I want to put it. That's my plan. It's so crooked. Extra stressed. Can you tell how crooked that is? Yeah, it doesn't look as bad with the tapestry on the wall. It is good enough. I think this was properly nailed into the foundation. You can see a little bit of white stuff on the end of it, which is why it was so hard to get out. Oh my god, well done! Well done! Good job!
Well, that saves about 3 hours on Wednesday.
I just moved the lamp and switched it on for the first time, and oh my god, this corner is starting to look perfect. It is now officially June. Today is the 1st of June. It's the first day of winter officially here in Australia. And we're on the final stretch. So the tapestry is up, the lamp is on, the cabinet's here, everything's painted. I'm slowly moving my books back into this space, although I haven't perfectly worked out where all of the books are gonna go yet, so that is not final. It is now time for us to get some prints on the wall. So on this wall behind me, I have organized some prints from a place called PSTR Studio. Very, very kindly, they gifted these prints to me, so I got those for free. I also, incidentally, now have this beautiful framed print of Theodora's tea shop. This was organized initially by my mother-in-law, who the cabinet used to belong to, so this is technically from her. And then I organized 2 other frames. This was from an exhibition that we went to at the British Library, and I loved this poster. I thought it was so beautiful. It's essentially an illustration of fairyland. This illustration was done in 1918. I thought it was so gorgeous. I think it's gonna go in our entryway. But the other thing I got printed, which is very cool, is this picture. So if you've been here an impossibly long period of time, you might recognize this painting, because this painting is from the very first video that I ever uploaded to YouTube. I've kept the painting for all of these years. So I've got this, I've got my silver play button, all my degrees, all of these things, all of these little achievements and milestones and little things and prints that I love from my life are gonna go up on these walls, which is very exciting. This is level. We did it. We made something level for the first time, like ever. This is level. This guy's fine. Final little touches. Have you seen this? I saw this ottoman first a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, a very long time ago. We were still in the apartment, definitely, but it was at least over a year ago. And ever since this place started selling this ottoman, I have had my eye on it, and I waited and I waited and I waited and I got it in a really, really good sale. This very much feels like Christmas, but it's things that I bought 3 or 4 months ago and just haven't opened yet. These are some very cute scalloped coasters. Final thing is this very beautiful, I think it was called like an Edison lamp. That's probably not correct at all. I might even get a battery operated candle to go here, just because I think that this is too close to the tapestry, that I actually think that it's dangerous. And then I'm gonna pop the other candle holder on the 1920s cabinet, I think. Welcome everyone to my final study. Final reveal. I cannot believe how beautiful this space is. It's so cozy. Also, I feel like it's fairly unique. Like when I was searching for images of exactly the kind of thing I wanted to create, I couldn't really find it. So when I was going back through my inspo pictures, I realized there was really no one image that encapsulated what I wanted to do with this space, but it turned out absolutely perfectly. There are a couple, or maybe not a couple, maybe a few things that I haven't quite gotten to yet. For example, I want to replace the curtains eventually and maybe put in some nice green linen curtains. I wanted to paint those frames, so the ones that have my 2 degrees in them, I wanted to paint them dark purple, the same purple as this, but I ran out of time. Tyler literally just got back from the shops with 2 globes. Like, the globe that I had in this one was always way too bright. This is like half the lumens. Yes, I learned about lumens today. It is so beautiful, it's so comfortable, but also I feel like the purple, the dark hues is kind of elegant. I love the fantasy vibe. I can't remember if I ever actually explained my choice to get this particular tapestry in the end, but the reason why I picked it is because it's a William Morris print, and William Morris is really quite famous for his wallpaper designs and his visual arts and his patterns, but a lot of people don't know that William Morris was also a fantasy writer, and he wrote fantasy short stories, and he was a really big member of the medieval revival. So the work of William Morris ended up being a big inspiration for Tolkien, and Tolkien of course is the reason we have the fantasy genre, and so that's why I wanted a William Morris print in the end of my study, because I felt like it was meaningful, because I am a fantasy author. What else? This cabinet is from the 1920s. My novel, Theodora's Tea Shop, is set in a 1920s inspired world. But my silver play button is finally on a wall. This rug here was partially to help cover up, obviously, the hole in the carpet and the random carpet that I put. So I had to get into contact with like a carpet seller for that. There was a whole part of that I didn't even have the energy to vlog. I was like driving around trying to find strips of carpet. It was like a couple weeks there where I was stressed out of my mind. I've been doing a bit of travel for work recently. I'm recording this the day that this video goes up, by the way. That's how down to the wire this has been. So as I said, there's a couple little things that haven't been done yet. I think I'd like to put something like a pin-up board in the nook so I can pin things up on the wall, and maybe some other pictures. There's one spot up here which still needs picture. I might consider putting some shelves up here and popping some picture books on there. And yeah, this is how the study turned out. I could not be more thrilled with the space. I couldn't be more comfortable. Like, this is genuinely such a lovely space for me to now spend my time. It's so perfectly me. So we're going to be painting other parts of the house at some point, so I'm excited for that, but also this whole process was incredibly exhausting, made more exhausting by the fact that I was also juggling like filming and documenting the whole thing, but I love this space. I could not be happier with it. It's so cool, it's beautiful. And before I go, I just wanted to gently remind you that my debut novel, Theodora's Tea Shop, is out on July 28th. Everyone can pre-order it from Blackwell's. If you're in the US, if you're in Canada, if you're literally anywhere, you should be able to pre-order it from Blackwell's. But if you're in the UK, New Zealand, or Australia, please feel free to go to your local bookstore. You can also add it on Goodreads or Storygraph. And finally, I wanted to say a massive thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. They've been getting all of the updates over the last few weeks. This process, mostly just me being covered in paint and stressing out. Over on Patreon, we have a whole bunch of lovely bonus content, our book club, our Discord server. I'm posting voice notes over there now. There's so many things over on Patreon, so please feel free to click the link in the description down below to go and check that out. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.